Many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, why are there 40 Spider-Men in the Marvel's Spider-Man Magic the Gathering set? 40! Why? I don't know. I've been wondering the same thing. I have spent more time than any one person should have to spend scouring the complete Marvel's Spider-Man Magic the Gathering set list while making my regular slate of preview season videos for all of you. And in that time, I've started to form some opinions, all of them strong, about the range and quality of the many Spider-Men in the Spider-Man set. There are too many Spider-Men in the Spider-Man set. Of the 188 cards in the set, not counting basic lands, 34 are Spider-Man variants. That's literally 18% of the whole set. 18%, nearly a fifth. Can you imagine if a fifth of the cards from the next in-universe set, whenever that finally gets here, were Chandras? Imagine them doing a set with 34 Chandras. Even if you had a whole set that was just about Chandra, you still wouldn't get that density of Chandras in the set. Actually, we did once get a whole set about the life of Chandra, M20, where we got a Chandra card at Uncommon, a Chandra card at Rare, and a Chandra card at Mythic Rare. 3 Chandra cards out of 260 cards, a little more than 1% of the set. Anyway, the point is there are too many Spider-Men. Way too many. And worse, many of the Spider-Man designs don't make any sense. Well, I've decided to rank them all because I'm losing my mind. Presented in this video is the official Tolarian Community College Spider-Man card design tier list of all the Spider-Men in Spider-Man. I'm ranking every single one. So get ready to look at every Spider-Man in Spider-Man Magic the Gathering Spider-Man set. I'm gonna rank all the Spider-Men and see which Spider-Men are the best Spider-Men. Too many Spider-Men. I'm dead. Spider-Man not only killed Magic the Gathering, it also killed me. Are you God? Is this heaven? Well, it's not heaven. If this isn't heaven, then where are we? Why, we're at Micro Center! And not only are you dead, but so are the high prices of computers, electronics, and Magic the Gathering cards. But Angel Prof, how can I take advantage of these deals? Friendly human staff, and 29 locations nationwide if I'm dead. Very easily, just check their inventory and sales online before heading in person. This makes shopping more convenient than ever. And that doesn't really help me with the being dead thing. Micro Center will have you singing with the angels when you see their wide variety of stores all across the country, including Phoenix, Arizona. That's right, Micro Center will be opening their 30th store in Phoenix later this year. So after that, it's just the temperature that'll make you think you live in hell. Oh, please, Angel Prof, please send me back to Earth. I realize now that I've wasted my life. I promised to spend more money at Micro Center. I promised to check out Micro Center's selection of electronics and Magic the Gathering impulse buy items. I promised to sell out even more. All right, fine. But remember, go into Micro Center and tell them Angel Prof sent you. They won't know what you mean. Say it anyway. So don't waste your life. Go to Micro Center today and spend your money there. Thank you, Micro Center, for sponsoring this video. All right, I have put all 34 of the Spider Heroes included in the main set, as well as the Spider-Man variant included in the Spidey's Spectacular Showdown Scene box, onto a classic tier list labeled S through F. I evaluated each of these 35 Spideys on how successfully each design depicts what that Spider-Man character does. What are their powers? What is their personality? What happens in their canonical story? Let's begin with the F tier. Disasters. F-tier designs are not just bad, they're utterly baffling. No matter how closely you stare at the card, no matter how long you spend on the character's Wikipedia page, you cannot make sense of why this character does this thing. First up, and in my opinion the most egregious design in all of Marvel's Spider-Man, is Spider-Man UK. Spider-Man UK has web slinging, and his design would genuinely be better if we stopped there. But his design loses all its points when you get to the second ability. Why does he draw cards when two creatures enter? How is that a Spider-Man ability? Is that somehow unique to the United Kingdom? What are we doing here? You may be surprised to learn I've only put one other Spider-Man in F tier. Yes, for all its flaws, and despite my firmly believing that 35 Spider-Men is too many Spider-Men for one set, the vast majority of Spider-Man designs in the set are not utter disasters. Anyway, the other F tier Spider-Man is actually a Spider-Cat, Masked Meower. Why does Masked Meower sacrifice itself to discard and draw? Even the flavor text seems to directly contradict its abilities. Spider-Cat is uncatchable? Then why does its only ability require it to die? Oh, and this is going to come up a couple more times, but if this is the Spider-Cat, then why is this card not legendary? Are there a bunch of Spider-Cats? Forget it. I'm done looking at this terrible card. Get it off the screen. We're now on to the D tier of our list. D tier is home to card design failures. The designs in D tier do not feel like accurate depictions of the characters. A D tier design is often lazy, ham-fisted, or surface level. Many suffer from being bottom-up designs, as though their mechanics have been forced onto a character rather than being inspired by a character. That all said, these designs aren't bad to the point of being baffling. You might even see where they were going with the design. You just don't think it was a good place to go. D tier. Failures. Web Warriors is an example of a lazy card. A team of spider friends shows up and saves the day by making the whole team big. Okay, cool. Is that all? Why are they a 4/3? Why aren't they legendary? And sorry to go back to this, but actually, why does them saving the day mean making the whole team big? Bad design. D tier. Spider-Bite Web Warden is a Spidey that fights crime in a virtual reality? Okay, cool. Well, she's another design that I just don't buy. She enters the scene and sends the bad guy packing? What, like you're forcing bad guys to log off? Sounds like you just wanted an uncommon Man-O-War variant for your limited set, Wizards of the Coast. Skyward Spider might be in C tier if it had a name and was legendary. The modified ability makes sense. She gets flying when you give her flying gear. Is the story here that any spider person can become a Skyward Spider if you give them flying gear? Then why do a bunch of the Spider-Men just already have or gain flying? It feels like they needed her to be non-legendary for the sake of limited, and so imposed that on her character. D tier. Spider-Man Brooklyn Visionary is a good card, great in limited and maybe pauper. It's Miles Morales, who has been the second most recognizable Spider-Man, in no small part due to the Spider-Verse movies. It's also a D tier design. Why does Miles Morales tutor for a basic land card? Is it because he's exploring New York? Isn't that what all the Spider-Men do? And why does exploring New York entail tutoring up a basic land? Next, we have a favorite character among fans of the comics, though I didn't know that until I did some research. Silk Webweaver is a very cool character in the Spider-Man universe. As a card, she's very powerful and has a cool effect. Unfortunately, as far as I can tell, that powerful and cool effect on her card has nothing to do with who she is as a character or what her powers are. I regretfully must put Silk Webweaver at D tier. And our last card at D tier might come as a surprise. It's Peter Parker, also known as the Amazing Spider-Man. The Peter Parker side is pretty good, but we're not rating Peter Parker on this list. We're rating Spider-Men. And as a Spider-Man design, whatever. And as a Spider-Man design, I'm sorry, but I just don't see it. Why does this particular Spider-Man give your legendary spells web slinging? Does Amazing Spider-Man make his famous friends swing into action? This is a fun card. I even built a commander deck around him. But as far as an attempt at a flavorful translation of Marvel's most iconic hero into a Magic card, well, I just don't see it. I'm sorry. Now we're moving out of the failure zone, and that's right, by my estimation, only 8 of the 35 Spider-Men are total failures. But now we've hit a more bloated zone, the C tier, home to any card that's just which is where a lot of the cards from this set fall. C tier designs are okay. Maybe there's one specific thing about the card that works, but the design feels a little unfinished. Maybe the design is in the ballpark of where it should be, but it isn't right on the money. Maybe buying into the design requires you to make a logical leap. Okay, so I guess if you accept that this power translates to this ability, I can see how we got there. These are the cards that, while not failures, I wouldn't chalk up as major successes either. C tier. Meh. First up, we have Spider-Man Web Slinger. He is a Spider-Man with web slinging. That's it. Yep, you got it, wizards. That sure is a Spider-Man web slinger. As I said at the beginning of this tier chapter, meh. Meanwhile, Spider's Man is a Spider-Man made of spiders. When he web slings into play, he makes a couple spiders. He also gains some life for some reason. Why does he gain life? Don't worry about it. Meh. Iron Spider Stark Upgrade is a Spider-Man that received a suit upgrade from Iron Man. The suit is super high-tech and can even act on its own without Spider-Man controlling it, like by saving him from threats automatically. Artifact Creature? Check. Vigilance? Cute way to depict the suit keeping watch for him. Buffing other artifact creatures and vehicles? You're starting to lose me there. Debuffing those things in order to draw a card? Alright, I'm out. I'm gone. Meh, meh, meh. Spider is another artifact spider. Did I say that right? Is it just SPDR? Spitter. Well, however you pronounce it, it's another artifact spider. It kind of makes sense for a mech Spider-Man, but shouldn't the mech be a vehicle and maybe make a pilot token on entry? Seems like a missed opportunity. Spider-Ham Peter Porker is the most famous joke Spider-Man, but he's not a totally nonsensical choice. He protects a world full of animal people, so animal people get a buff. And I guess he's a pig, so he likes food. Sure. Okay. Next. The pair of Scarlet Spiders, Kane and Ben Reilly, both land on C tier for me. One of them is crazy and scary and so can be cast with Mayhem. Sure. Alright, fine. Seems like there could be more, maybe to show he's a clone. Same deal with Ben Reilly, another clone. Is he stronger than Peter? Is that why he gets big when he web slings in? These are two very popular characters in the Spider universe, and it seems like both designs could have gone a lot further. Spinneret and Spiderling is close to being a good design. As Spiderling gets bigger, she starts exploring the multiverse more. As the set designers have established, casting a card from exile means exploring the multiverse, and I actually like that. But why do these two need 2 spiders to attack in order to train Spiderling? Isn't the card supposed to already be both Spinneret and Spiderling? I think the card should have gotten bigger whenever it dealt combat damage, as that would also show Spiderling learning. Cosmic Spider-Man has all these keywords because the Enigma Force made him a god, I guess. His plane is also a safe haven for spiders, but does that really translate into those spiders also becoming gods? Congratulations to any Spider-Man who has not yet had their name called, because we've now made it to the good Spidey designs in the set. If you're keeping count, we've covered 17 Spider-Men so far, with another 17 more to go in the main set, plus that bonus spider. Welcome to the B tier. B-tier cards are designs that are top-down, as Universes Beyond designs should be. The things that are good about the card are really good, but maybe there's something missing. Like C-tier, the character may have been reduced to a single characteristic, but unlike C-tier, the designers did nail that characteristic. B-tier. Good designs. Yay! Symbiote Spider-Man is a great example of this. The combat trigger doesn't quite hit the symbiote flavor, but the find a new host ability definitely does. Another good example of the successful singular characteristic is Spider-Woman, Stunning Savior, who generates bioelectrical stun energy, and who therefore makes your opponent's creatures enter tapped. Stun counters would have maybe been a bit more flavorful, and also this is a nitpick, but flying is a funny ability to give her, given she is apparently always saying she can't fly. She can only glide. Now, the Spider-Man India card has one characteristic aside from web slinging. He saves people by giving them a temporary lift. And honestly, great. That's about what you'd ask from an uncommon rarity Spidey variant. Spider-Girl Legacy Hero fits a similar vein. She is flying on your turn, and when she flips away, she leaves behind the citizens she saved. Now, sure, nothing about that is necessarily specific to Spider-Girl versus any other Spider person, but again, for an uncommon, that works as a design. Superior Spider-Man is the result of Dr. Octopus's body swap with Spider-Man. During the course of those comics, the real Spider-Man dies, and Ock takes his place but stronger. That's the only fact about him depicted on the card, but it's depicted pretty well. Sun Spider's civilian identity is Charlotte Weber, a rather unfortunate pun on the title of the children's book. She's disabled and fights crime with her crutches that shoot webs. Presumably, that's why she can search up an equipment when she enters. But why can she search up an aura instead? I guess based on her card art, she's good at farming aura, eh, kids? Good at farming aura? I'm down with the lingo. Aranya, Heart of the Spider, is a Spider-Verse variant modified by a metal exoskeleton. Even if you don't know anything about the character, you can probably figure out the gist of what she's like from her abilities. I'm not blown away by this design, but it's pretty good. We've reached the A tier, folks, and the view from here is great. You can see all the terrible Spidey designs stretch off into the horizon. Up here is where the flawless designs live. A tier is for those designs for which I have no notes. These are faithful depictions of characters through game design. That said, they are missing a certain X factor, a je ne sais quoi, that would take them from perfect to transcendent. A-tier designs are exactly what you'd expect from a card depicting a known character to look like. You read these cards and you nod and you say, yeah, that makes sense. A-tier. Flawless. Spider-Man Noir is perfect card design. He's a mono-black creature, a lone detective, and as he studies the case, he gets bigger and better at collecting information. Spider-Rex is also perfect. Colossal Dreadmoss Spider-Man, come on! What else can you ask for from a spider dino? Arachne, Psionic Weaver's tax ability, is a good depiction of psychic powers, and the web slinging makes for a nice little cherry on top. Spectacular Spider-Man is a great and simple depiction of the classic Spider-Man. He appears out of nowhere, can temporarily fly, and is willing to sacrifice himself to save the day. Grade A. Lastly, in the A tier are the trio of Gwen variants. At the most simple, we have Spider-Gwen, Free Spirit, which in my opinion is an awesome depiction of a Spidey who's just bounding around having a blast. Remember, this is a common, but at this rarity, yeah, it's excellent. If you buy the idea that casting cards from exile is the mechanical translation of exploring the multiverse, then Gwen Stacy's Spider-Ghost is another solid A. She's quick and she's agile and she loves to explore the multiverse. Finally, Gwenom Remorseless is another awesome card. Is the Bolas's Citadel ability an accurate depiction of a dark and grief-stricken hero, willing to tap into her own life force to ruthlessly accomplish her goals? Hell yeah, I'd say definitely. She also has Death Touch like many of the other Venoms. This is absolutely excellent stuff, a solid A design. If you can believe it, there is a tier beyond perfection. The designs in S tier transcend the medium. They don't just succeed in depicting an outside IP character on a Magic card, they surprise and delight. These are the designs that make you wonder if maybe Magic the Gathering actually was meant to merge with Marvel's Spider-Man all along. The stars aligned, a higher power worked through the hands of the set design team, and S tier Spider-Men were born. There are 4 Spider-Men in this tier. S tier, brilliant Spider-Mans. Spider-Man 2099 takes the drawback first associated with the iconic card Sarah Avenger and puts it to even greater use. He's a Spider-Man from the future, so you can't cast him early. He watches over the multiverse, hence the vigilance. He's an exceptional warrior, hence the double strike. And if you've traveled the multiverse on your turn, he shows up and blasts something for you. Miles Morales, Ultimate Spider-Man, is another great example. He's brash, quick, and impulsive. He is inspiring, lifting his fellow spider people to greater heights. And above all, his camouflage ability perfectly translates his camouflage to Magic card rules. an iconic card for an iconic character. And speaking of iconic cards for iconic characters, the Sensational Spider-Man is exactly that. It was actually really smart of Wizards to have this be the first Spider-Man design they shared way back at the announcement of this set. Because this Spider-Man in the Spectacular Showdown scene is exactly what a nimble spinning kicker superhero would feel like in combat as filtered through the Magic game mechanics. This is, in my mind, a quintessential Spider-Man card. I don't know why they needed all those other ones. But as successful as the Sensational Spider-Man is, there is actually one Spider-Person that's even more inspired. If you've been paying attention, you know which one I'm about to say. It's Spider-Punk, the 2-mana 2/1 Spider-Man. He has Riot. He gives all your other spiders Riot, and he doesn't give a damn about what any control players have to say about it. Riot was already an excellent mechanic from a flavor standpoint, but applied here to Spider-Punk, it's like the mechanic was invented for Spider-Punk. If you handed this Magic card to someone who doesn't even play Magic, who doesn't even know what any of the mechanics on the card actually do, they would read it and say, yeah, that makes sense. That is the absolute pinnacle of what card design can hope to achieve. And the designers of Marvel's Spider-Man absolutely achieved it with Spider-Punk. We got there. Every Spider-Man in Spider-Man. The complete tier list. I hope you enjoyed watching me suffer through this. I hope you took something from this video, and I hope very much that when WotC hands you 35 Spider-Men in the future, you are the one who has to sit down and rank them all out. Not me. I'm done. I'm not doing this for Iron Man or Captain America or Batman or whatever Marvel set is next. If you're ready for some non-Spider-Man content, you can watch our newest episode of Shuffle Up and Play, where we just play Magic the Gathering. I get to play with Slimesicle, Point Crow, and Derek from One More Mana. If you haven't seen this episode yet, you are really missing out. Click on the I here or linked in this video's description. So many Spider-Men.
Next time on Shuffle Up and Play.
What's up? It's Shuffle Up and Play, and today we have balanced our decks against a medium deck.
Mid? Did they call it? I think the kids call it mid.
But okay, off.
Your deck was bonkers, crazy, powerful.
They replaced a couple cards.
And how many was that?
20? I have a really easy turn one, a Gloomlake Verge land.
Draw for turn.
And then I'm going to draw for turn.
This is what I assume your lives are usually like. As influencers.
You're an influencer.
You're an influencer.
I'm going to tell you this. That's what you do.
Death Cap Glade.
That a no cap? It's cap? Yeah, cap. Cap.
I want to attack, but I don't think anybody's naked. You got a 4/4 froggy.
Can't be naked.
What? Is this a common vibe?
Sometimes I say things and I
You're
don't know
good.
why.